So today is a beautiful crisp morning in the middle of October. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's still pretty cool. But I'm going to do my last mite treatment on these hives. That hive there is waking up. It looks like it'll be a beautiful day. Not overly warm, but at least it'll be sunny. And the bees will be able to fly around a little bit. I'm going to dust all the hives with icing sugar, and I will show you my mite count on those sticky boards in the bottom sticking out of the hives. So I took the sticky board out of this hive under here, hive number 7. This is just like a non-slip thing that you'd get at a kitchen store, somewhere like that. And an old sign. These are for sale signs, and I just cut them to size. So take this off. Lots of wax and stuff on there. And what I put on the sticky board was some oil. I'm just gonna look through here and see how many mites I can find. I don't see any actually on here, which is a really, really good sign. Hopefully, at least. I'll be back. I cannot find any mites on here, or lice, thankfully, so I'm just gonna clean it off, and I just take my hive tool and scrape all that stuff off. But I cannot do it while I hang onto the camera, so I will be back again. So I took the rest of the sticky boards out and just left the holy things that the mites fall through, just left them there so that the bees can crawl off. And this one was from hive number 5, and there were a few mites I saw. There's a couple in there and a few more over there. Let's see. And last time with my mite count, last week, was that. So hive number 7, this one here that had nothing this week, had 3 last week. This one here had 11 last week, but this week it had 5. And then number 5, this one here that I'll be counting, had like 34. And it looks like there's even less this time. So I just went through and I checked all of the mites, and overall I guess the count was a little lower, but still some of them have quite a few. So now I'm going to prepare the sticky boards again. So this line here just indicates that that's the end of the holy thing. So I don't want to put oil there because then the bees will get stuck in the oil, and don't want that. The mites, they'll get stuck in the oil so they won't crawl back up through the holes and onto the bees. If you do this treatment without a sticky board or screen bottom board, then the mites will just crawl back up onto the bees, and you're kind of defeating the whole purpose of doing this treatment. And I like this treatment because there's no chemicals involved. Like, I guess white sugar is considered a chemical, or we would consider it a chemical. The powdered sugar goes down onto the bees and covers them, and then they don't like that, so then they clean themselves off, and in the process clean the mites off, and the mites, because of the sugar, lose their grip on the bees and fall down. Just what we want. This is about good. Nice and oily. And I'll just stick this down here, get this thing back, and put it on top. Like so. And then I'll take it and I'll put it in my hive. Bottom of my hive. Nice and gently. There's not many bees on the bottom there, but there, and it sits in like that. So most of the bees have come off my boards, or my holy things. I need to find a name for those. And I'll continue on. There's a fly that got stuck on my sticky board. It can't get up. Wouldn't want that to happen to one of the bees, but it can happen all at once too with all the mites and the lice. So I'm going to give this hive a powdered sugar dusting. This looks really, really good. There's bees from frame to frame. So this is just powdered white sugar that I ground. Generally you take about a cup of powdered sugar per hive. This was the hive that didn't have any mites. You just put it over top. This here is just a pollen patty. And they'll shake all that down to their friends. Ooh. And they'll get right through the hive. They get a little disoriented. They're full of powdered sugar. Just like us. I'll need to give them another patty before I wrap them up for winter. Not a whole one, probably half. This is the only treatment I'm doing on them. And that's how I do my sugar dusting to every single hive. Cool. Today is October 31st, 2018, and this morning Dad and I lined up all of our hives, and I just finished squishing 2x2 together. I went through, made sure they had about half a patty each, and then checked the moisture, and I found that these newer top covers, because they're waxed, the humidity goes up and it sits on top and then drips down on the bees. Whereas these old ones, which are not waxed, they had no condensation. These guys, they were all fine. So I don't like that. I wiped down the condensation on these three. Then I put a piece of wood like this, faced this down, like that. Put that over most of the holes, and then I put insulation in. The reason why I'm keeping these boxes on is because in the springtime, it'll just be easier when I come out and start feeding them. And now, what am I gonna do? Oh yeah, I remember. I need to do a light wrap, and then we're going to stack square bales around them and cover it, the whole thing, with a tarp. But it's raining right now, which is very, very annoying. I thought it would stop, but it kind of doesn't look like that. So I may stack them tomorrow. We'll see. So Linnae and I wrapped these today. We have the insulation under the lids, and just put this stuff around, made a hole, because these ones are shorter, so we cut holes there. That one didn't need it. They're a little patchy, but it's just supposed to be rough. We might stick bales in between here for extra insulation. We stack the bales around. Wrapped our hives. There's 6 hives under here. Wrapped 2x2 and square bales all around it. And then we put 2 tarps on. This one is, the blue one is kind of half doubled. And then we put a black one over top. I hope it's dark enough in there for them. Interesting looking package. Hopefully it stays dry and mice free in there. Yeah. May Yahweh bless these hives. May they make it through the winter in Jesus' name.